finally got it. Cool. All right, so I'm trying to flip the camera so y'all can see. Should I do it this way? Oh, I need to be this way according to YouTube. Oh, it's because my phone is locked. Okay, well, it's fine. We'll be vertical again. Let me flip it back. All right. So, hey y'all. Right now it's no one in here. I'm about to get my iPad and post on there that I'm live on YouTube just so people can know. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Your girl was hungry. I just wanted a little bit of lunch before I started because today's class is going to be a lot of fun. So let me grab my iPad real quick and I'm going to post that I'm live. See if some of y'all want to interact. Where my headphones go? Okay. See you. See you tomorrow. All right. Instagram. All right. So I just posted. So hopefully some of y'all get on here soon. But if not, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Today is gonna be pretty much a continuation of what I did 2 weeks ago when I made a wig. I did make the wig on my Instagram live. However, it will not download for whatever reason, so I'm not able to post the Instagram live onto my YouTube. I'm gonna keep trying, but if you don't see it, then just go to Instagram live. I'm gonna also pin it into the description. So today is going to be a continuance of what we did 2 weeks ago. I made a wig. So what y'all saw last time, I made the wig from scratch. We glued the wig together. It was a DIY wig. So it's been a while. It had more than enough time to dry. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I had to go live again to show y'all that I cut like the black part of the cap out just so this part can be out. This is going to come in handy because today we're going to bleach the knots. And then I have this here. So this is like how the length turned out. Everything looks pretty good to me. And this wig is for me. So I'm going to just show y'all what it looks like so far without the bleach knots. So y'all can kind of get an idea of what we're going for. So I already have a middle part. So hopefully it shows correctly. But if you measured your head right and stuff, this should fit perfectly onto your head. Let's see. So y'all can get an idea of what we're doing today. Y'all see how harsh on my hair this hairline looks. So today we're gonna work on plucking the hair. And then also today we're gonna work on bleaching the knots. So at the root, you can see that all these little black dots are here, and we're gonna get rid of those. They're actually like dark brown, but I can tell in the lighting it looks a little darker. So the first thing that we're gonna do is that. Let me put her back on to the head. So it's definitely important for y'all to know like the head size that y'all are working with, so it can fit perfectly. Mine fit pretty good, but if yours doesn't fit as well as you would like, then you can also add like a band to it to kind of help, but we will go over that in another video. All right, so I'm gonna lift my blind up a little more so y'all can see. Hopefully that helped. That kind of did help. Let me smooth my hair down some. If y'all are chatting, let me see if I can see if anyone is chatting, because some people got on here. Yeah, I don't know how to quite work YouTube lives yet, so we'll get there. All right, so today we're gonna be bleaching these knots and working on plucking. The first thing that I think I want to do is bleach the knots, so that way y'all can see how that is done. So when I say bleaching the knots, just like I showed y'all earlier, it's like a bunch of little dots. Like when I put my wrist under there, y'all can see there's like all these little dark spots. So what bleaching the knots does I'm sorry, what bleaching the knots does is help eliminate like that darkness at the root, so it can look like a scalp. You see how on my scalp it's actually a lot lighter than my hair? That is our goal when we're bleaching the knots. So we want to make sure that it actually looks proper, like an actual person's head. So the first thing that I'm going to do is move some of this stuff out of the way, and I'm gonna be over here now. So I have my mousse. This is something that you guys will need if you're trying to like mold your wig down. And then I have my lightener. Today I'm gonna be working with Matrix High Riser. I have not tried this to actually like bleach the knots or anything, but I'm excited to see like what the outcome is, because I feel like it gives a really even level of lift. I'm just moving some of my other things. Sorry, 1 second. Let's get a bowl. All right, so I have my bowl and I'm gonna get my developer. I'm actually going to use, I think I'm gonna probably use 40 volume, because I want this to happen fairly quickly. And even though these types of hairs, it will say that it is, virgin hair, they still go through a certain type of chemical processing, so I feel like 40 volume will break it down. Obviously you don't want to leave it on there too long with 40 volume, but it's very good to keep in mind that when you're doing this with 40 volume, you're gonna have to watch it a lot, so that way you're not breaking off the hair or melting the hair. If you got hair that is naturally black, or not naturally, but if it says on the label that it is black hair, more than likely your knots will not bleach. So don't look forward to that if you have like dark hair. I've done it so many times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bleach the knots and it's very, very dark, and then it doesn't grab. So I'm going to take 1 scoop of this lightener. Let me get some gloves, and for Matrix I think I actually only have 30, so I'm going to use 30 volume instead of 40, but it should still be okay. All right, here's my 30 volume, and I'm going to grab some gloves and a foil. All right, so got my gloves, got my foil. So with lightener, especially when you're using it like on hair weaves and stuff, it still works pretty much similarly to as if it was like a person with heat coming from their scalp. However, with the wig, the heat doesn't come from the scalp, so what that means is that it's just gonna have to sit a little bit longer. And the last thing that I want to get is actually going to be a plastic knife that I have. This helps me spread the lightener out without necessarily compressing it into the closure. I have a box of plastic knives, to each his own. They also have color brushes and stuff that are just like solid silicone that you can spread out onto the closure as well. But I currently do not have that in my possession. That's neither here nor there. Now that I'm doing this video, I'm like, I probably should get it, because usually I'm used to making wigs for me. So when I'm making wigs for me, I really don't care how it's done. But if this was done professionally for a client, you want to be sure that you have like the actual tools, so that way you can remain professional throughout the service. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a butter knife as well, and then we're gonna get started with the process of bleaching the knots. All right, got my butter knife. So what I'm going to do is take my lightener. I have it in the bag still. You can either dump it. It just depends on what brand that you're using. Like, I used to prefer to dump it, but now I don't mind if it's still in the plastic because it keeps it nice and neat. Excuse me. All right. So I did 1 scoop of lightener. I probably would not even need 1 scoop of lightener. That might be a little bit too much, but I'm still gonna just use 1 scoop of lightener so that way I don't run out. And then with the developer, let me grab a measuring cup. I have my measuring cup here. So 1 ounce, and I'm gonna do it to 2 ounces. Alright, so I got my 1 to 2 ounce here and here. We're gonna pour it in here like a little science experiment. And then lastly, I need a brush. As y'all can see, I really did rush back here from lunch because I have nothing ready. Alright, so I'm going to mix this up with my brush. It's up to you if you decide to use a brush or a whisk. I use my brush. It's just personal preference for some things. So this is about the consistency that it's looking like. It's kind of a loose consistency almost. So what I'm going to do to kind of thicken it up is add a little bit more lightener. And this is something that you have to base off of like your own discretion. You can't just be like, oh, it's so loose, I'm gonna just put like a whole nother scoop. You're gonna have to eyeball it when y'all add more lightener to it. When you do add more lightener, this does make it process a little bit faster because it's not like the exact same ratio. So that's something you also want to look out for. So I have like, I don't know if y'all can see, but about half a scoop in here. I'm gonna just add it into what's already mixed, just so it can thicken up a little bit. The idea is that since it's lace and it's supposed to be see-through, is that you don't want your lace to actually show. I'm sorry, you don't want it to seep through the actual lace because there's like holes in the lace. So as y'all can see, it kind of thickened it up a bit, so it's not like dripping as soon as I pick it up. It does a little bit, but it's not like crazy how it was. I might add just like a teensy weensy bit more. And like when I say a teensy weensy bit, like about that much. All right. So that should be good. I'm getting it thicker. Ooh, it's very strong smelling. Oh my gosh. Well, we're using 30 though. All right, so this is my consistency. It's not dripping immediately, so you want it to be like an icing type of consistency. So now I'm gonna take my wig and let me grab a towel too. Take my wig and I'm gonna flip it inside out so y'all can see all the glue and stuff from last time, but it's not tacky anymore, so like it's not gonna stick to your hair. Hopefully you're using like a wig cap or something anyway. So now you see we have our lace, and this is where we're going to bleach the knots. I'm gonna take a little bit of lightener and I'm gonna take it and just literally spread it onto here. Just like that. This is the back of the lace part only. I'm not putting it everywhere. So this is gonna help us bleach the knots. If y'all ever see those captions, now y'all know what it means when they're talking about bleaching the knots and stuff. So again, we didn't need as much lightener as I used. And I'm gonna flip it inside out just so y'all can see. Y'all can see it's kind of coming through the holes a little bit already, but it's not like pushed into. So I'm gonna flip it back out real quick. And just to kind of even everything out, that's what the butter knife is for me at least. There's like little stragglers of hair that kind of got on there, but it's okay. All you gotta do is wipe it. You can wipe it with a towel, you can wipe it with your gloves. The main thing is that you're not saturating it with more lightener. So flipping it out, spreading. Act like it's toast. Like with toast, you don't want to push too hard. Just kind of spread it enough to see the knife lines. So I see that there's still like some knots. I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but there's still like a little bit of knots. So I'm gonna just go back in with one more layer. And again, I'm not putting too much pressure with my brush up against the lace. I'm just lightly adding it. So I want my lace to look almost completely white. Well, this lightener has a hint of blue, but once it's activated, it kind of looks white. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is take my foil, and I'm just gonna put my foil, I got two, put my foil over top of this area, and I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna sit it on the table, right side up. I'm not gonna put it back on my mannequin head. So let me see if I can show y'all what it looks like. So that escalated quickly. So let me show y'all what it looks like. So I just have it literally laying here with the foil on top. And I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes. So y'all might be wondering while it's processing, what are we gonna do and all that fun stuff. So I can add filters. Oh wow. Okay. All right, I'm not gonna do that though. All right, so now I'm gonna take my gloves off. This is a great opportunity for y'all to like wash your bowl and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna bore y'all with that. I'll wash it on my own. I might even add a little bit of color to this wig, but I'm trying to debate if I wanna save that for next week's video. We will see. But I'm gonna show you how I prep my hair for a wig, because like I said, this is my wig. So when I'm prepping my hair for a wig, my hair is already straight, so I'm just gonna put it into 2 braids. I know everywhere y'all probably see a lot of people do like 5 braids, 6 braids, 9 braids, very small braids. My hair does not need all that. I have fine hair. If you're already like in hair school or whatever, you know, you have fine hair, you have medium hair or coarse hair. Mine is more medium to fine, so I don't need like a lot of braids. I'm just gonna do 2, and they're gonna go straight back, and I'm gonna maintain the same part that is in my closure. So my closure has a middle part, I'm gonna have a middle part. So I'm gonna grab a comb real quick and I'll show y'all exactly how I braid it. All right, so I'm gonna part it down the middle. Part it all the way down. If your hair is thicker, then you want to do multiple braids probably, so that way you can maintain the flatness of it. I do not know how to see who's live or who's commenting or anything like that, so I hope y'all are not asking me questions, because I don't know how to find it on here. I'm gonna have to find it on my iPad in a second, but I will be answering any questions that y'all have once I finally can see them. So I'm parting my hair down the middle real quick, and it's up to you if you want to use a clip or like just a hair tie to put all your hair to the side. And before I do this, I just want to see if anyone has asked any questions real quick. See, this is my first time going live on YouTube, so thank y'all for bearing with me on this. Okay, hopefully it's not like loud. Okay, cool. No one said nothing, so I ain't miss anything. Great. So now I'm gonna take my hair and I'm gonna braid it into 2 braids. So this is not necessarily a tutorial on how to braid your own hair. Unfortunately, I would love to do that, but I don't know how to necessarily explain it on a live. So I'm going to continue to braid, and I want to make sure that I'm getting all the hairs because you don't want any hairs left out. Ow. I'm so tender-headed, y'all. I say it in all my videos, but if you have not watched the video, then you know I'm very tender-headed. So I am cornrowing this down. Oh, Lord, I done left the whole piece out. Put that in there. All right. So I have this part pretty much done. And whatever didn't make it on this side is gonna go to the other side. I don't even know if my middle part looks that straight. When you're doing it on yourself versus another client, it's like 2 totally different things. Like on myself, I could care less about how my braid down looks, but on a client, I want it to look top tier. So I'm gonna put my little hair tie that I had on the other side. I'm gonna put that on this braid so it doesn't unravel, because this is a silk press that I had, so it's kind of silky and it might unravel quickly. And then on this side, I'm also going to do a braid. Oh my God. I see what my clients be saying, y'all, when they talk about like braiding and like the tightness of it. Oh my gosh. But while I'm braiding, I do want to say every Thursday I do plan to go live around this time at like 1 o'clock, between 1 and 1:30. Honestly, I do take clients like right before the 1 o'clock time, but I think 1 is a good time because most people are like on lunch. Some people might be getting off work or whatever. But last week I did, or the week before I should say, I did 11 a.m. and it might have been too early for some people. So I think 1 is like a decent time. So y'all definitely tune in. Next week, I don't know if we'll be on wigs or if we'll be on color. I haven't decided yet. Might be coloring a wig for all I know. But we're gonna see how today goes. So this is how I distract myself while my wig is processing. I just start prepping my own hair. So just putting this last braid in there real quick. Felt like forever. My hands are so tired. Oh my gosh. Oh, I left the whole piece out. Let me undo it. I knew it felt thinner. I was like, I got more hair than this. Okay, so I'm braiding it all the way down. If y'all have any questions, I do have the chat up now, so feel free to ask questions. It can be about anything, wigs, salon, whatever. Like, I love to interact. So I'm gonna take my little hair tie off of that one, and then I'm gonna take both of my ends, put it like that, so when it's in the wig, this part will come up. So hopefully that makes sense for y'all. All right, so now we're gonna check on the wig and see what it's looking like. So as y'all can see, I took the foil off. It's a little blotchy. And I'm gonna flip it inside out just so I can see what it looks like. So it's swelled. Y'all can probably see more of the lightener. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So it's still processing a little bit. I'll still give it a few more minutes to process with the foil on. I did get lightener on the cap by doing this, but this doesn't affect the outcome of the wig, so I don't want y'all to think it does. This will come off the cap. It's not gonna bleed into the wefts that are already glued on. I do need to wipe my hands though. So I'm gonna put a foil back on here. Just let it sit. It might sit for maybe like another 10 minutes or so. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime, in between time, is work on the wig cap part of this, which is gonna be so much fun because y'all get to see me look almost bald. Yay, I've been waiting for that. All right, so let me grab my wig cap. All right, so I have this wig cap. I'm trying to see. No, it's not close enough though to my complexion. I have different shades in here, so give me 1 second while I get my shade. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all see this one. This one is not necessarily my shade either compared to this one. So just so y'all can decide how to shade select for somebody. If this shade is darker than me, I can't make it look lighter than me. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna use a lighter shade on myself so that way I can make it appear a little bit darker than what it is, and then it'll be more beneficial. So the first thing you want to do with your wig cap, it is the same material as like a stocking cap or whatever. You're gonna put your hair all the way in it, even the back. So I'm gonna have it just like this for a little bit. All right. So just so y'all know, I'm going real hard by looking crazy for the rest of this video for y'all. So please, if y'all have questions, make sure that y'all ask, because I'm only gonna make this type of video once, I think. It just depends. All right, so I have this stretched out pretty much as far as it can go, like with the hairline. So the idea is that you want this part to be melted down. So when people say melt it down, that means you can use either hairspray, you can use gel, you can use glue, or whatever you prefer. But whenever someone is doing like a wig or something, they make sure that it is stretched out like to the possible stretching like this. Like I've seen so many videos where it looks crazy, but you do want to make sure it's stretched out enough so that way when you take it off, it's blending and it's flat right here. So I'm gonna grab my hairspray for y'all. All right, so I had this at home. This is called Wonder Lace Bond. I liked it when I used it a while ago. Sorry, I had to move my iPad. I liked it when I used it a while ago. I got the one for sensitive skin. It's paraben free, silicone free, phthalates free, and it's 10 times the hold for lace. So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna spray this on my hairline. Before I do that, I want to make sure my edges are tucked in a little bit actually, because you don't want it to pull like on your edges and stuff. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something over there. What do I want to use? All right. So I have this product. It's called My Gel. I'm just going to use that on my edges. I like it because I feel like I've noticed a difference like in my clients' hair growth and stuff since using it versus other types of gels. So I'm just going to add this on here, just onto my edges and right here, because you want this part to be really flat. I'm actually putting this on the hair strands itself. I'm not putting it on my skin because I want my skin to be ready for the lace. So I'm just brushing that back into the hair like this, And now I'll keep this side in some. And brush this into the hair like so. And again, on a client, this would be like slightly different, but it's myself. So, all right. It's good. Everything is nice and smooth right here. Your hairline is important because you don't want your clients coming back to you saying like, oh, you broke my edges off and stuff like that. We ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna just see if this is like not clogged. Okay, cool. Because sometimes you could go to spray it and it might be a little bit clogged and you don't want it to like unclog in your client's eye or nothing like that. So just like spray it away from you and your client and then see if it works. So here I'm gonna add a little bit of spray around the hairline. And it definitely smells like alcohol. Like an alcohol type of spray. So now you can kind of see my skin and stuff through the wig cap because I sprayed it. That is a telltale sign that you did it right, because you want it to basically remain stuck to your hairline. It might have went down a little bit further than what I wanted, but it's okay because we can clean that up with the alcohol pad. So I'm going to just let this sit for a second, and I'm going to take my blow dryer on a low setting, and I'm going to do a cool shot all the way around my hairline until it gets tacky. But if y'all can see, it does have like some tack to it with the spray as soon as it starts drying up. So compared to this side. So it does stick your wigs down. It does hold your wigs down. Don't doubt. It definitely does. Ooh, I done dipped my finger onto the butter knife, y'all. I'm always doing something on these lives, aren't I? Last live, I stabbed myself. This live, I done got lightener on myself. Like, where do I stop? So I'm going to take a second, and I'm just going to rinse my hands off, get some of this tackiness off. All right, let me grab oh no, I have a towel here. So I was looking at myself in the mirror and I feel like here it's not like saturated enough. So I'm going to take this and just spray it a little bit more. And this time, instead of using my fingers, because I just washed my hand, I'm going to just use my comb and spread it. Same thing on this side. Drop my comb. Sanitize. Get another comb. And I'll use this comb instead. I'm going to spread it out here. And I'm going in the direction my hair is when I'm spreading it out with the comb or my fingers. So keep that in mind, please. So now I'm going to get my blow dryer, and with my blow dryer, I'm going to air dry around here with the cool shot until it adheres to my skin. so basically it should get to the point of being like drier to the touch, so it's not tacky. You remember how my fingers were going like this and sticking? It's not doing that now. So that means this has adhered to my skin. Here on the sides it's still adhering because it still has like a tackiness to it, and same thing on this side, it still has a tackiness to it. So I'm going to leave it for now, and then in the meantime I'm going to show y'all how I rinse out the product from my lace. Alright, so I'm gonna revisit this. We see how it's looking. And then on the flip side, it has come through a little bit. So those are pretty much where I want it to be personally. I don't really have like orange undertones or anything like that. However, my skin is still like a brown color, and the way that it's, I dropped another comb, sanitized, but the way that this is looking, it looks like brown enough or caramel enough to match my skin tone. So I'm gonna go with this, and I'll show y'all how I rinse it out. I'm actually gonna wash the whole wig, and yes, I said the whole wig. I know we glued it on, so that might make it sound like, oh my god, why are we washing the wig after we glued it? The glue is secure unless you're using a glue removing a glue removing shampoo. Your lace is going to be, your glue, it should be okay. If it's not okay, what we're going to do is put it back on our head, and we're going to glue that area where it's loose a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense for y'all. So I'm going to shampoo. Let me turn it so y'all can see me. All right, so here's my sink. The shampoo I'm going to use is going to be a purple shampoo, and that's going to help eliminate the brassiness. Hopefully y'all can't hear my neighbors, because I can hear them, so I don't know what y'all can hear. But I'm going to shampoo this now, and I'm going to move my iPad so it doesn't get wet. All right, so I'm shampooing the whole entire wig. First thing though, I'm rinsing all the lightener off. Make sure all that is out, so that way the product can be used nicely. Did I say the product can be used nicely? I mean the product can be can even it out nicely. Alright, so I have a purple shampoo that I'm using. This is by Redken. It's called Blondage. You can use whatever purple shampoo you want, but that's the one that I like to use. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to directly place it on the closure exactly where the lightener was at first. So that way it can kind of kill two birds with one stone and tone out all the orange undertones or the brassy undertones, and I don't have to worry about it. Look for it to have any type of weird effects or anything like that. So shampoo this mostly. Like I said, you want to make sure all that product is out. Then I'm going to rinse it. That time I wasn't focused on the hair, but I was okay with it touching the hair. This time I'm going to focus on the whole wig. So the hair and the wig itself, I'm going to shampoo everything. So y'all might notice, like with bundles and stuff, when you're shampooing it, it's gonna be a lot different to shampoo this versus real hair, because the bundles hold on to the shampoo. So when you're rinsing it, y'all want to make sure that you're rinsing as thoroughly as possible. So these knots look pretty good. They look pretty close. I could probably bleach them again, but I'm not at least today. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like though in 1 second. So the first shampoo that I used was the purple one. The next one I'm going to use is just like a regular moisturizing one, because I don't want my bundles to look dry. That's a misconception people have, that beauty supply bundles aren't the same and stuff like that. It really just depends. Y'all gotta just know what you're doing. Like, that's what it all comes down to. So just shampooing everywhere as if it's a real head. Did I freeze? I hope I didn't freeze. Am I frozen?